kind of take us through the big kick.
Yeah, I was just getting ready, hitting a couple balls in the net, and then obviously third down, I walk over to where coach is standing. Ended up getting actually a flag there, so it's kind of a decision. But anyways, they spotted the ball, and we were like, all right, field goal. So went out there and, got a great snap, great hold, and great protection. So kind of just let it rip, and ball went through.
Were you surprised they sent you out there?
No, not really. We talked about our field goal distance, but they originally spotted at the 35, which we usually like to cross that. That's about 53 yards, which is about where I say I'm really comfortable at. So they spotted it there originally. They moved up 32. There's no doubt they were going to send me out there. So
how early do you start that process of going to the net?
So usually when we're on offense, I'll hit one or two balls, and then as soon as you start to drive, you don't want to hit too many balls because obviously that over the course of the game you hit a lot. But kind of then about when we cross midfield, I'll really start, get my mind right, hitting a couple balls, just really get in the feel.
As you're getting your mind right, are you thinking about the potential distance of it at all? Because, as you said, that abruptly changed for you as you're standing there ready to go on the field.
Right. You kind of think of the scenario, right? Like right hash, left hash, like how's it going to feel? You kind of, you've repped it so many times in practice, you know what it feels like when you get a ball in the right hash, 32 yards or whatever, like wherever the spot is, like, and the feeling of hitting a good ball. So you kind of just think of that, positive thoughts, and go out there and just let it rip.
There are successful college kickers who go a whole college career and never hit one from 50. Was that one that you wanted a box you wanted to check?
Oh yeah, that definitely felt good. I thought we've had a couple opportunities where, even like the first drive, I thought I was going to get a 50-yarder there. We took a sack there, so the bumped us out of field range. So, I think that was definitely a good feeling to get one under my belt.
What's the difference between being a freshman and a sophomore, just confidence-wise?
I think you just mature a lot. The guys around me have done a great job. Coaching staff believes in me, and everything just feels great, when the ball's going through and, you start to see success, you just build upon it.
Did you say a prayer or anything before you go out?
Yeah, I really started getting big on my faith, not really relying on what other people say, but just playing for one person, and that's God. So just really believing in Him and allowing me to do, go out there and perform.
James Shibas is known as kind of a special teams guru. What makes him such a good coach for kind of like a unique skill?
Oh yeah, he's just a great coach. Honestly, he knows how to push you. Knows how to get you better. For kicking, obviously, like you said, it's such a unique position. So really, just allowing you to build confidence, get reps. We get tons of reps throughout the week, and like I said, my snapper and holder have done a great job. We've gotten probably thousands of reps by this point since June. So just really building upon that, and then when game time comes, you've done it so many times, it's just repetition at that point.
When you hit the ball, do you know it was going in?
I hit it pretty well, but you never know until you kind of get to see the original flight. I thought I hit it really well, so yeah, honestly, as soon as I hit it, I was like, oh, that's got a good chance.
You ready to try 68-yarder?
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. That was unbelievable. Those NFL guys, they got new kicker balls. Those guys can really rip it. They're really talented, so maybe we'll see.
You committed to a different staff.
Right.
What had to adjust when the spring came around and you're with a new unit, basically?
The people change, right? But I feel like my mentality kind of just stayed the same. I keep getting better every day. I think if you work hard, you get rewarded. So that was really my main focus, and not really letting the people in the building affect too much. Obviously, it's great. Like we have a great staff here, and so they've done a great job.
You talk to Seth at all before you go out there for field goals, or are you guys talking things through a little bit?
Oh yeah, we talk all the time. Like pregame, we're talking about wind, all these different factors. We get along really well, and that's really, I think, contributed to our success on the field and kickoffs, field goals, no matter what it is.
Do you know who kicked the last 50-yarder for Purdue when it was?
I do not.
Okay. I think it was J.D. Dellinger in 2019.
Okay, so it's been a while. Yeah.
There haven't been a lot. Handful of guys
awesome.
have done it. So.
Did you get a bunch of text messages?
I did. I got a few. A lot of people telling me congrats and stuff. So that, like you said, building confidence and people. It's nice to see hard work pay off.
What's your max in practice?
We do cover reps throughout the week. I hit back to 55. That's really where we go in live periods. But, you never know. The factors, the wind, whatever situation, you never know. You might need to stretch it back out for a long field goal before half. So.
How far would that kick have cleared Saturday? Would it have been 50 up high or anything?
I don't know. That one didn't clear by a whole lot, maybe like 2 yards. So, but, you never know. Like, sometimes the ball just jumps off your foot a little bit better, but as long as you strike it clean and hit your line, good things will happen.
Can you take us through the mindset of the pressure being a kicker puts on you, especially in situations like that? Like, that's a big moment in a massive stadium.
Right. I think it just all comes down to your training, right? I think we're prepared to go out there, do our job, and not really worrying about like the external factors. Like, you can't control that. So just worrying about things you can control, and really just worrying about, not really worrying at all, honestly, I would say. Just trusting that the guys are going to do their jobs and that you're going to go do yours.
You got, I think, one miss this year, just barely. That kind of, being a sophomore, you just block that out and go into the next kick maybe better than last year.
Yeah, for sure. I think, like you said, I missed one kick, and I thought, I still hit a good ball. That unfortunately happened, and you don't want that to happen. But at the end of the day, my job is relying on the next kick. So we got to move on, and that's what I did, and that's what I've done so far. So,
How much, I guess, satisfaction do you take from like just having more consistency in the kicking game? Definitely takes pressure off of other aspects, right? It takes pressure off the defense, takes pressure off the offense. Was that a goal for, I guess, not just you but the whole room to like be more solid in that realm this year?
Yeah, I think Coach Odom, day one, he made a big emphasis on we're going to be one of the best teams in the country in the kicking game, and that starts with having good specs, obviously, and good coaches and practicing it a lot. I mean, we practice special teams probably more than anyone in the country, probably the most special teams. So, that at some point that's got to show up on game day, and I think that has really started to show. We've done really well the last couple of weeks on special teams, and just kind of building on it every week. I think we've gotten a little bit better as the season has gone.
What's the thing you rep the most each week to prepare for a game? What's maybe the number one priority? Is it? Are you working on distance a lot? Is it more about precision in different parts of the field? Like what's?
Yeah, I would say really just work on hitting good ball contact. That's like the biggest thing. Getting clean rotation, like seeing your line and hitting your line is a big thing that Coach Sheets talks about with me. He's had a lot of great NFL kickers, and I just trust in him and what he's done with those guys to develop those guys. I just kind of want to follow in those footsteps, and like I want to be great. So just kind of doing those little things, seeing your line, hitting your line, hitting good ball contact, and just building on that.